everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. In this video, it's going to be kind of complexion focused because I have this new skin tint here from Laura Geller. I was sent this in PR. It's called Better Than Block Skincare Infused Serum Foundation, and it has the SPF 50 on there. And I thought immediately some people's minds may go to like the IT Cosmetics CC cream, which also has the SPF 50, and thinking, how does this compare? Is it a similar product? I've experimented with this for a couple of days, and it's really not like that. It's much lighter. So I'm going to apply that, and then we have some new serum bronzers as well, and just kind of connect the dots in between and do some concealer, maybe a little Laura Geller baked powder in there, and just create a little complexion look involving these new products. So I have the shade Light in this product. I've already gone ahead and done all of my skincare and just my usual sunscreen for under makeup, but I kind of consider sunscreen that's included in makeup to just be like a little bit extra, you know, a little bonus sunscreen. And I'm squeezing out like kind of a large pea-sized amount of this. It has a very thin texture. It's not gonna like run right off your finger, but it's kind of having the feel of a classic tinted moisturizer. So dabbing that all over, and then I'm gonna use a dense brush to blend that in. This is my buffing brush from Profusion. And you're gonna see how, yes, it's giving me light coverage. It doesn't seem to be a product with any shimmer, but just with the moisture involved, I feel like I'm getting some radiance out of it. If I had to sum up the coverage, I was thinking about it before I got out of bed this morning. I was like, what do I say about the coverage of this product? I think it's an overall light coverage approaching medium. When I get that all blended on my skin, I'm not feeling like purely medium, but it's getting there. And maybe if you really applied a good amount of it, even more than I did, maybe you'd feel like you were at the medium coverage point. But to me, light to medium, on the verge. But I do enjoy how it blends out very easily. Definitely adds some moisture to my skin. It's like an extra layer of moisture. I'm not too sticky, but I can definitely tell both visually and to touch my skin that there's something extra there in terms of hydration. So lightweight product, definitely does do some overall evening to the skin, which I like. I mean, I even have a couple of like little tiny pimples around here. I think it neutralized some of the redness, gave an overall improved look to my skin, but it's still very light, and it does give you an added SPF 50. So I think I'm going to enjoy that as yet another skin tint option. When I come in really close, maybe you can see what I mean as I described how it's approaching medium coverage, but not totally there for me with that amount of product applied. Like, I'm still seeing even some little things. I still think it looks really good. It's just I have to keep in mind, what do I think a medium coverage foundation looks like on me? And is this there? And I just don't think it's quite there. And that doesn't make it bad. That's just me giving a description. But I'm going to apply some concealer. I don't have a Laura Geller one on hand, but I thought I'd pull out my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop. I love this stuff. This is in vanilla. I'm going to do a couple little dots around here and hit around the sides of the nose as well. It's the first day of pre-K, and I gotta be honest with you guys, like my head's not all in it this morning. I'm like a little bit nervous. I know at least one of us is probably going to cry. He's really excited to go, and I feel like once he steps into the classroom today, parents get to like walk them in, and I feel like once he just gets into the environment again, he'll be so overcome with all the things to do and the fun to be had that he may not be so concerned about me leaving. And it's like we do this at Sunday school, like he's okay with staying with the teacher, and then grown-ups come back, you know? Yesterday he just seemed to be kind of fixated on the idea of me not being there too. And so we had to bust out the Daniel Tiger grown-ups come back episode. The reason why I'm kind of a little extra nervous about how this will go is because when Belle was in pre-K, we had an extended time of hard drop-offs, going from about homecoming in the fall to spring break in the spring. I just know how bad it can be, and I don't want to go through it again, but we'll see. Whatever it will be, I'll deal with it. You know, like, we will get through this. And no two kids are exactly the same. It's not like just because one kid shows, oh, I'm a little nervous about this, it doesn't mean they're gonna give you the exact same situation. But I'm loving the way the skin is looking right now with that added concealer. Like I said, I still see that hydration, that little bit of healthy glow, but now I've got those certain key areas covered. And I don't know if I really explained it as I was doing it. But I took the Sephora 71 concealer brush, sort of spread with that, tapped over it with the larger buffing brush. And then for under eye setting, I'm going to use some of my Laura Geller Baked Blurring and Setting Powder. So yeah, she does have a kind of lightweight baked powder, and I thought, what if I try that with a little triangular puff and then just lightly set all over the rest of my face with some Balance and Brighten. How does that sound? So tapping in, honestly it looks kind of invisible, but it is mattifying. And pressing around the nose. In addition to just like wondering about how drop-off will go, there's also just the reality of this is my last kid and now he's off to school. Granted, this pre-K is just several hours in the morning, so I guess I'll really be feeling that when he starts kindergarten, but it's just a change. All right, I've pressed that in. Seeing as this is a pressed product, it's not like we're swiping on a huge bake situation, but my under eye does feel smooth. It definitely feels fully set. I look a little more matte around the T-zone, if you can tell. And then I'm going to use Balance and Brighten, just a little bit of this to set all over the rest of my face. And I was talking about this recently, how I think the formula may possibly be a little different with Balance and Brighten than it once was. I notice a lot more powder kicking up when I go into it. It's just a softer product now than it used to be. But I'm using my BK Beauty just 107 brush, any powder brush you like, and you'll notice I'm kind of staying to those parts of my face where I didn't do the blurring powder. A neat thing about Balance and Brighten is it really doesn't look thick, heavy, chalky at all. It's good about looking really natural. There is a fuller coverage option from Laura Geller called Double Take. That makes a really good standalone powder foundation. But in this situation where I've got that lightweight, like tinted moisturizer underneath, Balance and Brighten is going to add a little coverage and just continue to help even out the skin. And then we have these new products, the Serum Bronzing Cheek Lift. I'll show you the shades. I've tried them all. Soft Sunshine is going to be like your kind of medium cool shade. Pretty in Paradise seems really light in comparison to that. Like I was playing with that one yesterday. It's just a little bit warmer and lighter. And then Relaxing Rich, that one seems like one that you're really gonna be able to chisel your cheeks out with. Pretty in Paradise seems the least impactful on my skin. Like, yeah, it does add maybe a little bit of a sunny look, but it's not doing the most. And by the way, this applicator, what you do is you twist for a while when it's brand new. You twist it for quite a bit at the bottom, and then it's going to eventually come up here through the tip. And then not necessarily every time you use it will you need to twist it again. Like you can see, I'm stamping on these basically liquid makeup dots. That's not a thick cream. They call it a serum. So yeah, it's like a liquid consistency product, and it's not gonna set too quick. And this is again the shade called Soft Sunshine. So this is your little bit cooler. It's still kind of sunny, but really amazingly easy blend on this. And I think the thing about it is the applicator ensures that it's gonna be a very thin amount applied. It kind of reminds me of a less puffy tipped Maybelline Age Rewind type of product, okay? If you're familiar with that, you know you don't always have to click up every time. To me, it's not nearly as annoying as some of those squeeze tube Charlotte Tilbury-esque cheek products. But look at what this is doing. Giving me that light, very naturally contoured look. And again, it's super thin. And the way it stamps on, like, isn't it almost like one of those bingo card stampers? When I was at the news, I did a whole like special feature on a bingo haul. But it makes you feel like that. You're getting just like a liquid stamp. And on my skin tone, I feel like Soft Sunshine does the job. Yes, but the Relaxing Rich will go even further. So I'm going to apply a little bit of that just so you can see the difference and the impact, because I know it looks kind of dark right here. But again, the amount applied is very thin. So let's do a few dots of this. And maybe a couple right out here, just lightly. It's just not an intimidating product. It doesn't set too fast. Can't underline the thinness enough. It's very easy to manage. See how that gives a little more? I just love that being as thin as it is, sometimes really thin products start to lock in on the skin too quickly as they sit there, and this does not. Stays really blendable. See, I feel like that color is really doing the most when it comes to a chiseled contour. Soft Sunshine's kind of like, yeah, I can contour. I'll give you a little sunniness to your skin, but it's still going to be on the softer side. Pretty in Paradise. I mean, we don't want to leave anybody out here, but I could put this, like, let's say right on the top of the cheek. Let's just do some of that. Let's just treat it like we just applied a powder bronzer and we let it casually go up there on top of my cheek. Apple of the cheek area. It's really soft. Can you sense how light this one is? But the neat thing is that we've put on these 3 different layers. They don't feel like heavy, sticky, tacky too much. It's cool. I like those. I think they're a really special product. I think she has some blushes that look like this too, but I've never tried them. But these, very enjoyable. Really like that so much. Let's make the blush we wear today a Laura Geller one though. I say we go bright and cheerful with it today, okay? We're using the Baked Blush in Brighten. This is the shade called Starfish Island Natural Finish, it says. This one looks like it has maybe some baked French vanilla swirled in. It's got coral, it's got mauve. Every one of her baked blushes is so special and always gives a little bit of an X factor on the cheeks. There's always something about it that makes it kind of unique, kind of hard to explain. And I'm going to apply this now with my e.l.f. blush brush. Look at that. Oh, I love these so much. The pigment, the really gentle satiny look that's coming off of it too. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's a blush lover's blush. That's what this line is. Just fitting right in with the look, looking amazing. And then I'm gonna dive right into my little quad highlighter here. And it has a couple more shimmery shades. It also has the Baked French Vanilla. I'll just use the Baked French Vanilla in case this is a hard to find product. Look how that's just illuminating in a non-shimmery way, the top of the cheek there. Ooh, there's so many things with Laura Geller where it's like, you know, she's just got it figured out. She's really, you know, reached the pinnacle with some stuff. So if you don't have this little quad highlighter, you can most definitely get Baked French Vanilla in a standalone version. But that is my complexion look today, you guys. Again, I can be very content with a lightweight tinted moisturizer. My skin overall doesn't have a lot of mega concerns right now. So I feel like I can put something like this on, add a little concealer to address certain really specific areas, and end up being really happy with my overall coverage. And then the steps like setting your under eye or setting the face overall with some Balance and Brighten can really further perfect. And we're looking like a strong medium coverage is what we've actually amounted to with the combination of products used. And then these serum bronzing cheek lift products, very cool. I think the application method is really appropriate because let's say you just put that formula, that really liquidy formula in a squeeze tube. What do you have? You have people squeezing out varying amounts, maybe way too much, getting like gobs of it on as opposed to these thin stamped out dots. And it's just not the same experience. Here, she's got something that really controls the product and keeps it coming out just very, very thin. And I think that's what makes blending easy. That's what makes it not ultimately feel like, okay, I've got all this added goop on top of my foundation and my coverage stuff. It's a really smart design, I believe. And if I had to narrow it down to just one, go with the Relaxing Rich if you really want a chiseled kind of contour. If you want a contour that's going to be a little more pronounced, go with that. But otherwise, I would say Soft Sunshine is pretty all-purpose and could even kind of be nice just in a bronzer mode, not just to contour with. So at this point, I'm just going to go on and finish my look and I'll join you to show you how it all turned out. Here's how my look ended up. I decided to use my Juvia's Place, the Coffee Shop palette today on my eyes, just for a really simple look. I love all the rich brown tones in this and it kind of just makes me think fall, and we're getting there on fall, aren't we? I used my Tartelette Tubing Mascara, didn't do anything on the bottom part of the eye, and then for lips, I'm wearing my Revlon Color Stay Lip Liner in the shade Mauve, and I topped that off with a really just comfy, good lip product. These from Bare Minerals. I can't remember the exact name of these. They're kind of like a lip gloss balm, and the shade is called Soul. It's so pretty, and it just feels absolutely incredible. on top of the lips. Moisturized lips, not slimy in the least, not greasy at all, just really nice moisture and quite a color punch in there too. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll update you guys on how the whole drop-off situation goes. I think it's probably going to be fine. Whatever happens, it won't be anything me or the teachers haven't seen before. Thank you guys so much. I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.